Hello, everybody. I will just first of all, yes, they're all adding themselves on it. Even better. Hey guys. No, you're gone now, so me can pull you out. That is the first attempt, guys. So be kind with us. We're just learning it out. Before I start, can everybody tell me in the chat, because we are streaming YouTube on our own platform on LinkedIn, do you see me and the guys over there? And do you hear us? And I would like to hear your voices, guys. So I'm sure that I'm not the only one that they hear. 𝘆cie𝗂'𝗹𝗹, a little song.
Okay, yes, let's go. Let's try.
Yes, let's go. jakub, where is that cat dog?
I will get her like at the end, like of the today's meeting, like to show to everyone like her.
Okay, the shout out, and then last one is Arun, but he's still muted because I see the microphone cut. Let me hear that lovely voice of you, Arun.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming.
Cool. So loud and clear. Hello, Rosita. Oh, we have 𝗹𝗲_𝗿𝗹𝗹 over here. We have on LinkedIn people telling us that everybody works. So that is already, I guess, a very good thing. Thank you. Technical stuff checked. I have paper and pencil, although that we still work in technology. I see 𝘵𝗵𝗍 already laughing me out, and he's so right to do it. So yes, I'm Jonathan. I'm the new kid on the block over here at Luzmo, running marketing and growth, but that's not the most important, I would say. What is interesting for you to know is that I started my new gig in January over here, and I had a lot of time with clients, prospect, partner, friends, colleagues. And of course, like most of us, everybody want to talk about AI. And then it goes like broad from broad. And I see that everybody's trying to run a race that started already a few months or a year ago today, that everybody can tell you, oh, we are really at the top of it and we own it, and they really are convinced about what they do and how they do it. Then you have the other ones that are feeling like we missed the boat and we will be potentially dead at the end of the month because we didn't embrace AI. Then you have that other topic, is it, are you born AI, or are you more AI supported or pushed by AI and trying to find your way in it? All those topics come always in all the conversation. And instead of building a new webinar about every capability that we at Luzmo can offer, I said, you know what, let's get back and maybe make a little step back about, we are all product people over here, loving the SaaS, many experience around the table. If we put all the years of everybody together, I think it's really decent. And so I thought it was more interesting to have guys like Arun, Jakub, or 𝘵𝗵𝗍 sharing a bit about basically that big topic about AI, but how can we bring that back to products? And when I say products, is should we all be in that rush today? Or there really some key players today that are like showing the way? And that's really the entire idea about more a roundtable, a panel discussion, call it as you want. I would love to do it in a lovely bar over here in Louvain, in our lovely Belgium, with some good beers. I think it can even be more fun. And that is what 𝘵𝗵𝗍 organized with the apéro, so he can tell you about it. Main purpose for me, and that is to the audience I'm talking, bombard us with questions, please. That's really the idea. We did prepare questions, but if you can come with your own questions, it would even be better. I will quickly say hello to Nicolas, Solomia. What is always cool for me just to know in the chat is if you can tell me where you're from. Guys, I will rumble it to you. If in 30 seconds you can tell me who you are, who you work for, and in a nutshell, if you had to pitch your job to your mom, how would it look like? That's always a good way to do it. And I will start with Mr. 𝘵𝗵𝗍.
Oh, the trap. So hey everyone, so I'm 𝘵𝗵𝗍. I'm the CEO of Dualoop. For those who don't know me, background of product management, spent about 13 years doing that. So I'm a started in HR, so nothing to do with IT. So definitely when John reached me out for that topic on bringing AI without having an AI team or without having an IT background, I jumped on the occasion to share with that. If I had to explain my job to my mom, or to my grandmother, it's really already a challenge. So as a CEO of a consulting firm, really help companies that have product management challenge to solve them by bringing them the resource and the help they need. And when it comes to product management, I won't enter to that rabbit hole. So I'll pass the mic to Jakob.
We will put the links of everybody. We will
Yes.
put your links, the LinkedIn profiles as well in the chat, so you can connect with the people. And yes, you did my job. That's great. Thank you, Ben,
Yeah.
for that. Jakob, the ball is on your end, mate.
Yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Jakub. I'm product at Surfer, so I build products here. And actually, my mom has no idea what I'm doing. So but yeah, basically, I try to help people. I try to help people to achieve their business goals with products that we are building, like mostly in SEO, because Surfer is an SEO tool. And yeah, I think that's it. Like my main goal, main purpose, like of what I'm doing when I'm getting up in the morning, is to actually help people to do something cool with our products. And yeah,
I love that. Arun, both of those guys says they are there to help. So make sure that you go into the same motion that helping.
Of course, I love helping out. No, I'm Harun. I'm a founder, CTO at Luzmo. Luzmo launched about 10 years ago. We are an embedded data visualization analytics platform. I always tell my mom that we try making complex data more easy so that even she can understand it. We aren't there yet, but we're working on it. And my role is running R&D at Luzmo and thinking what can be next for this company and for the market. And I have a background in AI. I always said I'm going to launch a company related to AI. That didn't pan out, but hey, 10 years later, it seems to all converge. So that's nice.
That's nice stuff. First of all, thank you, the three of you, for being there, for being crazy enough to join a guy like me, new kid on the block, and trying to round this roundtable. Also, thank you for the chat. I see that we have people from Belgium, somebody from Paris, but that study in Berlin went to Slovenia. I love that kind of stuff. Really cool. So again, push the questions in there. Maybe just to open, and that will be to you, Jakob, because you were at GetResponse, if I'm not wrong, and you were doing AI before AI was such a thing, I would say. And I think that is where I would love to hear your perspective about the fact that should people run behind, AI capabilities, or they're already late? What would be your take on something that wasn't hot maybe at that moment and that is really hot today?
Yeah, like actually, when I think about it, like I remember back in the day when I was like let's say fresh PM, and the biggest issues and the biggest challenge for us is to find someone that will help us build all those like products and around machine learning and AI, because we really wanted to, and we had our attempts, we did something, we built those products, but it was so hard. And I remember that every time when we try to get someone on board, it was hard to find those talents. And now, like, I mean, even not now, but I remember this like very clearly this time when OpenAI released an API, and out of sudden everyone was in the email marketing industry, because for those who don't know, GetResponse is an email marketing automation platform. Everyone in the industry was rushing to add AI, like everywhere, AI-generated emails, subject lines, like you name it, like everything should be AI. Like, and there was this fear that if we will not do it, we're gonna like lose our jobs, or like the market and the company will like all will crash and burn and everything. Like I remember like exactly, like there was fear in the eyes of people that, oh man, they are doing all this stuff. But and we like in GetResponse, we also like did it, like we did a bunch of things related to like to back it with OpenAI API. But so, now let's
Jakub, would it be right you're selling basically, because I'm old, I'm 40 plus, and you don't get fired for buying IBM, you do get fired for not adding AI capabilities to your product? That was a bit the
I
motion.
mean, like in general, like I feel that every email marketing platform like had this mindset that we need to do it, we need to add it, we need to be first now, because it's end of the world. Like if we're not gonna do it, and like few years later, it's actually not true, no. And that's because people like were rushing, like, and it was very like clunky thing. Like right, even now, like you can find examples of Gemini and OpenAI, like ChatGPT, how they hallucinate. So think about this. How was it like a few years
3 years
back?
ago.
Yeah, it was like, no, it was so gibberish sometimes, but no, hey, it's AI generated, it's AI powered, and we can add this label. And like, it wasn't like a value, actually, no. And what we are doing right now in Surfer is that, no, those talents, those people are not the issue right now. Right now, like, no, we have like so many, the issue is that we have so many ideas what we can do. And we need to find like actually the best thing that will like drive value to our users. So no, like for example, even me right now, I can take an API from OpenAI and create an SEO text generator, but it's no, without the data, without like all these things that we are adding in Surfer to make it actually work. It's not the SEO optimized text. Like maybe chat will think that it's SEO optimized, but actually it's not, because it's not backed by any data, any like no things that all those things that we are adding. So yeah, no, like
So
it
it's a
was like a
much
crazy
more
times, you
tough.
know.
So what you're trying to say is 3 years ago, everybody was like experimenting and putting like a stamp that they had it, where today in your new role, it's a much more thoughtful process about adding value to the product, which is also based on a volume of data to make it smart enough. Would it be correct to reframe it that way?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was like everything like had this AI badge, like, and even it was so absurd that some companies added that it's like human. No, they that it's built by humans, or like it's like no human powered or something. Because no, it was like everything was AI. So now, so probably to stand out, you need to be a human. Actually, no. So it was like crazy. No.
I love what he's saying. We have those old websites where powerly made in Belgium with a little love and those kind of things. Now tomorrow we will have software which is powerly built by humans and not robots, if I get it right. What's maybe your take? Because I know that you have also a strong vision about AI capabilities, and I love to use the word capabilities over here because I think it's the right way to express it, but I might be wrong as well. Would love to have your take on that.
Yeah, so I do think that fear is a bad motivator to add AI features. I mean, we don't need to rush to the market with wherever is the first thing we think of where we can apply AI, just to say that we are AI powered. That will probably not be a great
Okay, are you
strategy.
saying that companies are rushing it out of fear? Is that what you say?
Absolutely, yeah. So I think there's an existential fear, even in many software as a service companies, that they will be replaceable even completely with AI in the near future, or that many of their functionalities will not be necessary anymore, or they will be superseded by other companies that are stronger in this AI game. Now, the question is if things are going to go that fast, in the sense that AI should not be ignored. I think it's a huge technology shift that's happening. Perhaps the third one this century of this seismic size, after the move to the internet and perhaps the cloud computing. But it's a technological shift. You still need to bring it to the market, and I think that SaaS companies and software vendors are uniquely placed to use that opportunity and make sure that the AI actually ends up in the hands of people. Not everyone wants to build their own tools from scratch.
Okay. I like that. I like the fact that it's about people. You're trying basically the fear, the FOMO effect, which you put up front over here.
Yeah.
Try to avoid the FOMO effect, and I think that is where we have.
In
Yes,
the end, customer, we are all looking at this very closely, and every day. But in the end, people don't really care, right? They care about doing their tasks more quickly or with higher quality. It's a means to an end, so we shouldn't lose that out of the eye.
100% agree. Timothée, drop it. Give the world. Give the word. Come on, mate. Give us the word.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think that there is one thing that we have to keep in mind is ultimately it's about the user and about solving problems, and it's just it's a new technology. Definitely, it's a transformative one. So we clearly see that it's bringing something that we dreamed was possible. Now it is, but it's only a technology. It does not prevent you to do your job about solving customer problems and ensuring that you're doing things the right way for the right reasons. And jumping on the technology, yes, great, it's exciting because it's new. And honestly, to prepare this this panel, I played last week, and I'm saying, okay, I want to try to build an app by myself just by using
your Chrome extension.
Yeah, I started with the extension, but that was too easy. So I'm like, okay, let's try to build a real app. And it was funny because I don't have any dev background, right? So I know what is GitHub, I know what is a repository, but I eventually have one because I had a product in the past, but that's my only experience. So I said, okay, let's go. So I installed and I created an account on Lovable. Then I discovered Supabase. Actually, that's super cool. And I started prompting to create my app. And I had that moment of excitement because based on the prompt, you see the thing. And so they're super good in terms of user experience to make you to feel super exciting and poof, you see an application. And then you click and all of a sudden it's working. And then you're like, wow,
magic.
That's great. Let's go. And then you start adding features. And then you keep on working, and then all of a sudden your excitement is transforming into frustrations, because it's a bit like something like when you do a souffle and it fails the cooking and then it falls apart, it falls in itself. That's actually
the famous cake.
That's what's happening, because I mean, these things are great to do some prototyping. It's great to do some exercise, but it's definitely not production ready. And there is a lot of caveat everywhere that they're adding in order to make you things to make things work. And I think that we have to be very careful about all the things and all the excitement, because ultimately, the danger with those new technologies is a bit of the dopamine. So it creates a lot of excitement and because it's immediate,
it's a kick.
And it become addictive, and then you all of a sudden you stay the entire week on your screen chatting with an agent that does not understand what you're saying, and every time that he does something, all of a sudden it breaks into more things, and then you end up spending your time trying to repair what the agent has broken instead of improving your application.
Agree.
So that's the state of those technology right now. So if you don't have an IT background, don't even try. I think you try to have some fun. That's it.
Right. Thank you, Jacobi, and the answer. And Cursor is another one that you can have a look at. We will make a list of all those crazy tools.
So,
but I'm a bit
Sorry, I did Lovable and then Lovable and then Supabase, and then I shift to Cursor plus Verset and Supabase, and then I start.
So it's not that easy anymore, like.
No, but the guy didn't spend time with his kids, The guy was like back as a teenager looking at the new game. It was like just a toy for him.
Exactly. I was on holiday for a week, and my kids were a bit pissed off because every 2 minutes I was looking at my screen, because it takes time to compute when you start having a heavy application. Obviously, in backend I have OpenAI. I have Mistral as in order for API. I created some agent behind, so I had the full suite. But damn, I broke it.
Okay.
Start from
I will
scratch.
need to lock those guys in. So you got it? Otherwise, they will fire out. You will never have enough with 30 minutes. So I'm a bit disappointed about 𝘵𝗵𝗁 because you didn't use that word. And so I will use it for you.
Oh,
Let's
sorry.
try not to go for the bullshit AI.
Ah,
Focus
yes.
on delivering real value, not just features.
Yes.
So I make that link. How do we do that? How do we do that, mate?
I'll credit Mehdi, the CEO of Cycle, for that. He has so 3 great questions that he always asks. It says, would the product still be useful without AI? I mean, if you realize that if you remove AI, this product serves nothing, then probably you're just building something on the hype. Or the second question is, does AI will make the core experience of your application 10 times better or more? So does it really amplify the value? If not, probably it's just a nice to have. And the last one is, could a user accomplish whatever you're building with just ChatGPT and a well-crafted prompt? And I think those 3 questions already help you to demine the things and help you rethink about, are you rebuilding something that is solving a real problem?
Real customers' problems at the
Exactly.
end. I think
it's
we have a
It's all about that. It's about solving customer problems.
But I think that is where I want to put the emphasis with you, because I know that that's your role. That's really where you help companies, is trying not to look at themselves and how big and strong they are, but for who do they build it?
But the tension where we were talking about that is ultimately just yet another reason to build a feature factory, because with all these things, you can end up just creating and pouring code. I mean, Cursor and others. If you take Entropy Cloud or whatever, they are great at repowering code. I can't say it differently, but ultimately, does it really deliver value? What are your customer problems? Where are they? Are you really trying to solve them, or just inventing something just for the excitement, just for the sake of doing something? It's not because it goes fast, not because you can ship faster with AI, that you should do it.
Okay, I really like that. Arun, sorry, first of all, thank you, 𝘆cie𝗂'𝗹𝗹. Sorry if I'm really bad with names, because he's like adding the answers in the chat and the questions, so I don't need to prompt them because the people were missing. Can you build it with ChatGPT? Was the 3rd point of Mehdi from Cycle App. And so people were asking because you talk even faster than I do, 𝘵𝗵𝗁. Arun, I love that idea, let's avoid the bullshit AI and the fuzz and the buzz. Let's put the customer in the center of what we do. You or the co-founder here at Luzmo, how do you cope with the roadmap? Because that is like, I guess the corner or the backbone of shipping value to client goes through roadmap.
Perhaps just to answer your question,
Go ahead.
Yes, you can definitely generate codes and applications also from scratch with ChatGPT. Claude from Anthropic is another option. It can also execute the code immediately, so you immediately see the generated code and can play with the output, so that speeds up the iteration quite a bit. So definitely take a look at that one. It's very cool to see it in action with its limitations that it currently has. About roadmap, as product managers, we're all very used to talking with customers and then refining those requirements and finding the ones that bring the most value, etc. And that's an extremely valuable process. And we should probably reserve 70-80% of the roadmap to that. On the other hand, because the technological innovation is so fast, I think it's also important to reason sometimes from the technology side and think, what could be a moonshot that totally seems technologically unfeasible today, and then give it to the engineering team to ask, hey, given all of these recent AI innovations, would this actually be feasible today, even though I totally don't think it is? And you might end up with surprising results that they say, oh yeah, of course, just a day of work to generate something which you thought was extremely complicated. Or even empower your engineering team to spend some time to think about this themselves and empower them to bring those ideas to you. And so what we did at Luzmo, for example, is about a year ago, we did a workshop. What if, like, what could a competitor build, a competitor or a new entrant to our market, that would completely wipe away that market? Like, not an incremental improvement to dashboards and visualization, like what could completely destroy and replace the BI market. And then we set out to build exactly that. And that became the Luzmo IQ product, where you can ask a question and you get a direct answer instead of having to go through a dashboard that you still need to interpret. But I believe this is possible in many places. For example, we're talking about SEO. That's an area where, we are so used to thinking we need to surface our website first in Google. But what if people are searching through an LLM? How do you do LLM engine optimization? And how does that change our business?
That makes sense. Just conscious of the time, and I will be the asshole. Sorry for that, guys. Jakub, what's your take? How does Surfer run with roadmap, feature launch? I've been a user of your product for probably 4 years now. It's massive, the cadence that you have by shipping stuff and going from I would really love, I don't know if the Academy is still available, open for the people. If so,
Yeah,
you should
still.
share it, mates. Then you should share it. Definitely have a look at it. It's probably one of the best course I had in the last year. So definitely have a look. How do you cope with that at Surfer about, delivering value through features? And I will end up with you, Timothée, because I want that take out of HubSpot for me.
Oh, I
Go
mean,
ahead,
so
mate.
many things to unpack here. Yeah. First of all,
Yeah, I
I
know.
can answer the question about LLMs and monitoring and shift to SEO, because we'll drop the product to the beta testers this week that will help you with that. So
Okay.
if anyone is interested, like, reach me out.
Right
I
on.
can
Cool.
give you an access. And actually, I want to circle back to the thing that Timothée said about, like, that he built this app, but then no, the excitement like dropped. What I did, I mean, I take a very similar approach, but then I give it to engineering team, like make it
You made
like
an MVP.
production ready, like make it production ready. So I take the fun part of like proof of concept. It worked, and then okay, we are on something. Yeah, but in like, it's like I don't see like probably any different. And the questions that Timothée said like are very, very like spot on, because with like people, we need to think like about like the value for users and about users. Like in Surfer, we do like a lot of interviews. We gather this feedback, and actually like I have this slot every week when I like go through feedback. Even recently, we added to our weekly with my engineering team, so we can also go through this feedback and think about what people are saying about their products. What are their needs? Like, what are the issues that they found? And maybe we can like what we can do about it. So definitely like this should be like in the center of everything. And then if we find a way like to make it better with AI or with anything else, then that's great. And it's like in Surfer we are not even like right now adding the AI label to everything that is, because I think right now everything is more or less powered by AI or made with AI or touched by AI.
Agree.
But it's a thing, it's a tool, it's a technology that is helping us to deliver, and that's it. And sometimes we do it like more extensive, like with Humanizer, we have our own like algorithm that is trained, and we have like help here from outside. And, like we have this company that is called BART, that is like those data science brains that came to us and okay, we need your
They're
help.
really good.
But also like some things like right now with an API that is available from Mistral, from OpenAI, from other providers, like you can do a lot of stuff on your own, because sometimes there are like small things, that small tweaks for your users, they can automate something like probably the top of mind example for me, like, because in Surfer we are creating the content, we are helping you, we're giving you insights, but people were asking, hey, but like title description, there are like character limits. I always struggle like to fit everything there.
In the
Can you
160.
do something to help me with that? No, then and yeah, sure, why not? No, and that's like a small tweak, like half of a day or something. No, to do it, to test
But
it,
that
and
really
to
solve the pain. That's really solve the pain.
exactly, because like to fit everything into the character limit. Sometimes sometimes it's struggle. I mean, for me, even I'm doing SEO for like more than 10 years, and I still like struggle with it. So sometimes there's the small things that can improve. Sometimes like it's like in delivery process, we can do something that will make it like better and help us even to ship it faster. Yeah.
Like that. Maybe your take, 𝘆cie, because I already know that we're on 30 minutes, but I don't care. It will be an hour. Because there are good questions as well in the chat. What's your take on it? Because I really like your really Belgium approach. Sorry, buddy, that's for me a Belgium approach that you will be sharing over here.
No, because there are two things. So where do you find those opportunities, and how do you map them? And just be very pragmatic. As a customer support ticket is certainly the best first place where you should look at to solve your customer problems, and then probably there will be a lot of recurring issues. Then if you start seeing that your CS team, I'm only talking about companies that have large volume. Okay, it does not work if you're a small team of 2 monkeys doing something. But if you start having large volume, you see people doing repetitive tasks. That's a perfect example, a perfect place to look at in order to build some so eventually build new system. But that does not answer that. Yes, AI may be the answer. AI may not be the answer, but that's how you build products. And I'll really bring that back to just be pragmatical. You're there to solve customer problems, deliver value, and then you have technology that can support that. The great thing is that these new technology help you to solve that in a more efficient way, or sometimes more elegant way, or help you to solve problems that you were not able to do before. And to give you a very concrete and Belgium example, I was working back in the days at 𝘆𝗵𝗁, and it's a knowledge sharing platform. When I was there, head of product, we were dreaming about doing machine learning and doing AI, because we were sitting on all those knowledge base, and we had so much content.
Everything.
And then we had everything, but we didn't have the technology, and it was very difficult, very impossible to find the right guys to do that, or they were way too expensive, or we couldn't find them in Belgium. So we couldn't do it. And now all of a sudden it's possible. And it's great because all of a sudden 𝘆𝗵𝗁 has been able to transform, create new product, and delivering even more value to their customers thanks to a new technology. That's a perfect way of applying that. It's not bullshit. It's just having real customer problems that can now be solved with a new technology.
So that's a great transition. So basically what you're telling me, it's building AI tools. There is another thing, which is using AI to build better tools.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's
That's
always
a transition that we should aim for. Again, and that is not a Luzmo pitch at the end, at the old. It is really for all the guys that are running into any kind of problems today. It's about going that extra mile thanks to AI. That's what I understand, at least over here.
It's always the same thing. So you have the foundation, the one building the algo, the one thinking the algo, the one building, then the one industrializing them, then the one building the tools that will just base on them, and then the one integrating them. It's nothing has changed here. So we have always a scientist thinking about those LLMs and thinking about the fundamental research. And now we're talking about how they call it. I'm losing the word, but it's fundamental research that's happening. And then there are some people like the Anthropic teams and OpenAI and others, they are building the algo. And then you have the people building the layer on top that allows you to use them, like the Lovable and the cursors and others. They are just basically creating an interface that allows you to use those APIs. And then they are the one using AI to create tools and the one integrating AIs. And that won't change. It's the same like any other technology. And that's fine.
Sorry, but I have to bring it back, guys, because of what you said. And at a bit of prep, of course, dear audience. And my buddy Jakub came up with the thing that he might, because 𝘆cie was sharing that he was in the US, seeing the lovely robots of our dear friend over there. Yeah. And Jakub was making a bridge to that he said, I might be ending up managing a bunch of robots to deliver basically the next big thing for Surfer. Can you maybe bounce back on that, Jakub? Because I think it do make part of the conversation that we're having over here. What was I still say science fiction from 20 years is the reality of today. So, and it goes faster and faster. So is it true? Is it not true? It's just, I would love to have your take on that a bit deeper, because we had really a good moment when you were sharing that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, actually, like 2 days ago, I think I read an article from 𝘵𝘂'𝗹𝗹 about like the future of product management. And there was like this take that probably in the future, product manager will be like, product team will be like the trio that we right now have, like a product manager, designer, and engineering, some engineering lead or someone. That will be actually the whole product team, because like you need someone that will like find the issue to solve, someone that will like tell you how it should look like, and someone that will do it. So, and with the rise of all those AI tools I'm using, like I'm engineer, but from the environmental studies, I have no idea about like programming. But using Cursor, I was able to do some proof of concepts, and so definitely like there is something there. So probably that the future will be that product teams can do more like with less, actually.
I think that is true.
And we can do even more products or more features at the same time, because we have like the same amount of people, or we will just be a small team that is delivering one thing and is working on it. But in the like next 10 years or something, maybe it will work just like that. Like if right now I can say to Cursor, hey, I need a code that will do this and that. Like I don't see why like will be like a Lovable or something like implemented into the product, and I can just think about product and do it, and that's it. And so maybe the next step, like maybe in 10 years, maybe later, will be that okay, we know that as a product people, we know like what we want to solve, and now we can just tell to the robot like, okay, so solve it for me, I know how to do it. And
okay.
and he will just make it happen. But
yeah, I like the idea.
Science fiction, but who knows?
Who knows?
It's interesting that the engineer, so the product managers are thinking of a future where they can write a PRD, and then AI will implement it for them.
What is PRD?
Let's say a requirements document.
T'as du bol que j'ai pas mon buzzer, toi.
All of the requirements that a new feature should have, and which impact it should have on the customer, and then they hope to give it to the AI, and that will do the implementation. And all the engineers are hoping for the inverse to happen, that the requirements will be written by AI and be finally clear for them and have no logical inconsistencies, and then they can do the implementation. But in reality, I think that the roles are just merging a little bit. You can generate the requirements, you can generate and brainstorm about them, you can generate a code. And we are just moving up to the next level, similar to when we wrote assembly and then moved to a higher level programming language. Now we are just managing the agents and the code generation, etc. And that comes with new skills to learn. I saw the question of Benoit.
Here you go.
Yes,
Here you go.
so
Salut Benoit.
I think today it's generating new codes is easier for an AI than it is adapting an existing code base. But that will change over time as the context windows grow, and there are better strategies for making logical adaptations to code bases. And we also see that the debugging itself can often be done by running the code, giving the error to the LLM, reapplying it, etc. Now, probably not every company should be working on it at that level. There are also things that will be done by the big AI labs. Some things will be done by your SaaS vendors for you, and some things you'll probably do yourself in-house.
But I think
jump in.
yeah, well, definitely. As you know, I'm definitely not excited with by the world where I would only interact with robots. And honestly, if you've seen, actually, there are some Belgian guys who just who went to YC and just raised 5 million a week ago. Conveo, sorry. Doing research assisted with AI, or actually almost on autopilot, if I'm correct. And I've met another company doing exactly the same. So actually now you can already have an AI or whatever tool based on AI who does the research, interview customers for you, and then you can pull that into a system that any agent can already write PRDs for you, and then you can already have CRUD AI, whatever system that will build code for you. So ultimately, you can already remove humans out of the loop if you want. But should you do it? That's again the question, huh? Because if you don't control the result that you have, ultimately, what purpose are you serving? Definitely, the level is not there. Maybe the level at some point will be so good that you can rely on that. I'm not sure I will still be working, still be living when that will happen. I don't know. But great, then our jobs will change. Definitely, they will all change. Like we're saying, some
Revolution.
more prototypings by ourselves. We can do more research. We can validate things with more realistic prototypes. It's great if you use them as prototype. It's perfectly great, and then you can have a better collaboration with your dev team, and your dev team will be empowered by having a technology that helps you to eventually write faster code, or maybe at some extent write better code. But I think we should keep the human in the center, because ultimately we're building that for humans and not for machine. And there's just one thing I want to insist on. If you really believe that, because I had one guy on a panel when I was in SF was saying, yeah, but everyone dreams on drinking cocktails on the beach. No one wants to work, and say, yeah, sure. But if you think that way, there will be a bunch of people that will drink cocktails on those beach, but the other ones just won't have a job. So is that really what we dream for? Certainly not. I think that they're more for a spread of revenue rather than concentrating that revenue in the hands of a very small group of people. But
I had to highlight 𝘆cie𝗂'𝗹𝗹 over here because it's exactly what you're saying as well. Even on an ethical reason, humans should still be part of that equation today, in my opinion as well. Timothée, just conscious of time as well, and although I think we could spend an entire afternoon. No. I hope there is value. If not, tell us in the chat. They are not sensitive to it. We are there to improve as well. If we had to boil it down to really practical tips that you can give today to product teams that want to embrace AI or move into delivering more value, what would be like a couple of your key tips that you would drop them? Where should they start? Look at.
We discussed a lot at Dualoop about that, because we were saying we'll really focus on solving problems and then think about the technology afterward. I still believe that fundamentally that's what you should be doing, but there is also an experimentation and learning. And I would say, look at the low-hanging fruit, look at the different things, the small thing you can fix around you, where you can use AI so that you can learn how it works, because there is so much behind that. So even how to write a prompt, how to integrate, how those LLMs are working, what are the patterns, and so that you can make all the mistakes of the world on the small scopes, and then eventually, by learning, that you will find the big bang or the big impact that you can have. So start small, do the mistakes, learn, follow the trends, and by doing that, you'll definitely identify the bigger opportunities. But then again, because the topic was how to ship AI without an AI team, I also insist that delivering AI capabilities to your customer does not come by building AI product yourself. Not everyone has to build an AI product. Most of the time, it may not make sense, or it may be way too expensive anyway. So you have also to think about what are the package solutions that are available on the market that you can use to deliver value to your customer. Because do not neglect, it's quite easy now to have a working product, but having a performing product takes a whole team. So AI does not make things simpler, they are making things even more complex. So the access to technology, it's always the same. So you have the 𝗪𝗵𝘁, this learning curve. When you have the 𝗪𝗁, yes, great. Everyone thinks that they can learn AI because they can deliver quickly like a piece of code. But the thing is that you're far, far, far away from delivering actually value and knowing what you're doing. And by the time that you realize that, probably it will be a bit too far. So think twice about that direction.
Would it be correct to say that today, basically, every SaaS company could basically deliver AI capabilities that do deliver value to the client because there is something called APIs? And I know that we had a lot of conversation about that as well. For maybe less technical people, is that the way to go for most of the SaaS products, is to look at what those big giants of the market are offering today?
But I would go beyond that, because I'll make the distinction between and I'm putting you on the spotlight here, like Luzmo, and it's a tool that is also using AI in order to deliver value, but it's well packaged and it's something that is controlled. And then you're doing what you know what you do in order to deliver the right response. And we should not neglect the fact that if an entire team is required to deliver that product, do not just think that just by integrating a Mistral API or one of the competitors into your product will deliver the same level of results. It will hallucinate, and you will end up wasting your time trying to optimize that. So you have to be very pragmatical on what you're doing and where you want to deliver value.
But if I may piggyback on
sure,
that, and also Benoit's question on will SaaS disappear? I think we will have to focus more on exactly the problem that we solve. For example, take Stripe. Stripe is also a kind of database with a layer of UX on it, but the thing that is hard to replicate about Stripe and the problem they solve for you is the entire fabric of business connections to the payment infrastructure and the credit card networks, etc. Something that's very hard to replicate as a small company, and probably not where your differentiator lies. And Luzmo's differentiator is also somewhere, and other companies' differentiator will also be somewhere. But perhaps we are evolving a little bit more to focusing on the nugget, the kernel of where our differentiation lies, while all the other tasks that are outside of that core focus become easier and become more automatable with AI, and perhaps become obsolete over time. Perhaps we also want our customers to take that more into their hands. For example, perhaps not everyone should necessarily directly call into the big LLMs. Perhaps we can take a kind of off-the-shelf software product and then do a final customization step to personalize that solution to your business using AI to do that step for you, for example.
Yeah, and also there is that dream that SaaS application will disappear because you can chat directly with your database. Yeah, first, let's be clear. If people are not even able to click on a screen and without needing customer support, we still have quite some time before they can use a chat to doing the same.
I agree. Maybe I love it, and I had a dream. I will snip that out, mate. I will tag you as hell just for that sentence, and I will put the music behind it. Jakub, because I know that you have also your take. I think that API world, getting the customer, but also that prototyping was really something that you were like trying to express, and just to bring it back again to SaaS industry that tried to deliver. What's your take on it? Because I know that you are not an engineer, like you said. You are not per se a technical person. What's your take on it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think like the first step is just to try. Like, I was amazed by the thing that I can do, like, without any technical background, and that. So I think that's if someone will just like decide to do this like first step and actually give it a try, then you'll see how easy it can be. If you have something to address with AI, how easy it is to actually implement it. Like, in my opinion, like the first step is to play around, to have this time, have this space to do something that is maybe not totally like aligned with your roadmap, but to just give some have some space to play with those things. Can you do something better on a different way? And start with it and start to iterate. And especially if if you're just thinking about like, okay, we need to do something. No, we do something with AI in our organization. Like, this is probably the way. Like, start small with the things that users like not necessarily like in like suggestions for subject lines in emails, like maybe some generate like 5 more ideas for the ad text based on user input or something like that. It's not like maybe a breakthrough, but it's helpful, and it's something that you can start with, and then iterate and go further, and then show others, like if your engineers will see, okay, this is something that we can actually use, then you can move farther and farther. Like probably like there are some like learning curves, like prompt engineering. Like, it's not that easy sometimes to get the output that you want. So you need to like play around with it. You need to think about like different angles and actually how to like make the wording sounds to get the best possible outcomes. And we are like struggling with it all the time, even though we have people that are like experienced with it. So yeah, in simple words, my take is like, okay, just go and try and play around, have fun, see what you can do with it, and then like iterate and then go farther and farther. Like and because I think that's the only way to to get into this like new technology. On even if you are using ChatGPT, like dealing with APIs might be something totally different, or dealing with LLM APIs is something totally different, because you get an output, but its output is sound like different. In every time when you're asking the API, you will get a different answer. So you need some kind of standardization or some. So you need to like, there are some new problems to solve, actually. Or
yeah, I get
for
it.
example, we are using LLM to translate LLM for the standard that we need sometimes. For example, so it's not the one call. We need to do 2 API calls, like to have some kind of standardization. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mika went faster than I did. So question time, because conscious that we are reaching an hour, I will do the quick wrap up. But if there are still questions, and you have one for you over here, Jakub, and I think it's a fair call as well. And we go outside the fact that should you or can you ship AI capabilities with the team, there is also always a money aspect. And as the half Dutch over there, no problem to talk about money. What's your take maybe on the facts around costs? Because there is a cost link to it.
Yeah.
How do you cope with it?
Definitely. I mean, right now, I'm even this like mode of actually estimating the costs, because like it's all token based, so like you don't always know exactly what are the costs, and you are paying for like both sides. So you are sending something and you are receiving something, and there are tokens, and those tokens like cost money. So like right now we are doing this proof of concept. We are like build the MVP. We are shipping it, and we have some cost estimations, but now we need to like actually learn that our estimation were like spot on, or like we need to do some tweaks. Definitely like stuff like making price higher because it's like AI powered or something are like gone, because right now, as I said, probably everything more or less can be or should be maybe AI powered if it makes sense. So so it's not a difference between one product and another. Okay. But you need to take this cost into consideration, and you need to like be prepared and have some system that will tell you like we have a limit for pricing, because sometimes we know like if someone
you're like capping the usage then
can exploit it, and this is like also like interesting part that people can like use so many tokens that that will cost you a lot. So you need to think also about this part, because so again, like it's like help you do new stuff, but also again like rise new issues. So that's definitely something that you need take into consideration, like how can people exploit it. But other than that, like this is like a pricing, everything has a cost, and you should like take this cost into consideration. You just need to like double check actually what's the highest cost you can pay for it, because like there are different usage. Like if you like someone would generate like a one paragraph and like the whole book, like the cost is totally different. So that's probably, yeah.
I think we will have a lovely conversation about monetization of the AI, but if I jump into this with all of you guys, I'm probably sleeping here tonight, so I will try to avoid that. First of all, I want to say huge thank you again. I would love to hear if the audience could bring value or could get value out of that. I took some notes on the fly. I'm really bad at summarizing those kind of things, and AI will probably do it better than I will do it. But I really like that fact where you were and putting a bit the spot on FOMO effect, Arun. I think people really need to cope with that as like something negative that don't help them really deliver the value of the client, which was more the take of Timothée. I really like the 3 questions that you were highlighting from Mehdi. If we remove the AI, are we still solving something? The second one was, is it amplified by AI? And if yes, by how much? And could ChatGPT run it himself? I think that was like the 3 points that Mehdi was discussing over there, which you pretty highlight very well. I also like the fact that you were highlighting support ticket as a good way to find maybe small things that you could try to iterate. And that bounces back to you, Jakub. I could see myself, non-technical at all, looking at support tickets and see how I could solve it by trying stuff like Timothée was sharing about Lovable and everything, and have an MVP that I could ship to my CTO, which is Arun, and say, hey, look, the guy which run marketing was able to find a way to solve real problems with AI that deliver real value. I think that is how people should think about it. But then my goal would be at the end, do we need those AI teams, yes or no, to be able to ship? I have the feeling that everything is there and you need just to choose which is the right path for your own organization at the end. There is not a yes or no to that question, or am I wrong?
You're totally right. It depends on what problem you're trying to solve and how you're trying to solve. If you're building a SaaS and you have a clear customer problem, then you will identify how deep you have to go. Can you take something off the shelf? Can you I mean by that, not a provider, or do you have to go to just calling API and rebuilding a system on top of that? Or do you have to run your own training models and then storing the models and training them by yourself? So there is a huge magnitude of different options that you can have, and it's a bit like you can eat a new car that you have to digest, and you have to pick the right choice. But then again, so grab the low-hanging fruit first, start with the starter, and then by that time, then you will discover what else you want to do and how you want to approach that, because it's a new world that you have to discover and that we all have to discover. There is a huge hype and excitement, which is great, honestly. So it's super exciting, and it's
helpful.
Definitely. And I think there's a lot of good things that will come out of that, but there is also a lot of crap that will go out of that. And sometimes it's sad and frustrating, but that's part of the journey, I guess.
I really like it. Conscious of time again. Sorry for that. Where can people follow you, Jakub? Maybe social media? Is there something where they can find out? Email? How can they reach out? Have definitely a look at Surfer SEO. Cannot recommend it more, guys. And not making a shout out because they are here. It's really awesome what they're doing. Yes, maybe just drop that, Jakub. Where can people find you?
Yeah, I think that LinkedIn is the best place to reach out, and I try to share the updates from the stuff that we are doing, how we are doing also. So
we'll drop the LinkedIn profiles in the follow-up email so people can easily connect. I know that Timothée is like much more active than I will ever be able to be on LinkedIn, and his insights are much better than mine because I'm always asking for something. He's sharing more than asking. So Timothée, LinkedIn is the way to go?
Yeah, definitely LinkedIn is the way to go, but you're posting more than me, so. But no, I think it's definitely the way to go. Otherwise, like we said earlier, we're organizing an event. Actually, I think it's next week.
Yes, next week, mate.
It's next week with great guys. I really appreciate lots. It's Louis de Disbac. You may have, it's a Belgian event in Brussels. Sorry for people that are abroad right now. He has already wrote 2 books on on ChatGPTs and the AI world. He's writing a lot of chronicles. He has some very interesting views on that. So if you want to discuss and discover a bit his take on that, don't hesitate to join. Our events are always free, of course, because our goal, like John was saying in the introduction, is always to share with everyone and ensure that everyone can grow and learn, because we believe that in order to have some knowledge to acquire, someone has to share it first.
Lovely.
Thanks.
We'll also put the links in the follow-up. Arun, where can people find you? Although that they should find you on LinkedIn, and that I am like your wingman and always pushing you to be there.
Yes, definitely on LinkedIn. But Jonathan, you're a lot better at being outspoken. So please push me a little bit more to do that as well.
We are a yin and a yang. Just so you know, we have a great office in Leuven. Those that don't know, it's in the Flemish part of Belgium. There are many desks empty, and we are more than happy that you jump in. Just send me an email, a LinkedIn invite. Coffee is on us. We have good beers as well, because I saw a couple of people looking at the beers in Belgium. Arun and myself are big fans of that. I want to say huge thank you again to 𝘆cie𝗂'𝗹𝗹 for all the interaction in the chat. Benoit, which was my former CEO, thank you for joining. Mieke, which is the shadow lady, making all this stuff available and I hope qualitative. From what I'm seeing, it seems to. Xander, Nick, just huge thank you to the community. A first step, if you have ideas about topics that you want us to move on in that kind of format, just drop them. That would be more than a pleasure to keep organizing that, to request like more connections to Jakub, to Arun, to 𝘆cie𝗂'𝗹𝗹 about people that I can couple over here. I just feel great being the moderator. I've been learning so much with you guys that I will probably need a good run tonight to just sort out everything that you were saying. But what I love about it is that basically you telling me we're living an exciting time with great opportunities, and I think we should basically embrace it more than flipping out of it. So yes, huge thank you for that, guys. Thank you very much, Mieke, for the links and the LinkedIn of profiles. And yes, thank you, guys. Without you, wouldn't be possible. It was my first attempt. I loved it. I want to make much more of those. And yes, let's make sure to join 𝘆cie𝗂'𝗹𝗹 next week in Brussels.
Yeah.
Have a good
Thanks,
afternoon,
everyone.
gents. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.